the Wayne's World car.
This is absolutely great. Does it still have the licorice dispenser?
George Patton photo album.
Cool.
My grandfather was assigned to Patton during World War II. It's my understanding that it's classified.
We open with a man holding something that could change military memorabilia history, a photo album from General George Patton himself. His grandfather served with Patton and took classified photos during World War II. One copy went to the Patton family, one to the War Archives, and now this one shows up at the pawn shop. Rick is buzzing.
Hey, how's it going? What do we got here?
Got a George Patton photo album from World War II.
Where in the world would you get this?
My grandfather was assigned to Patton for 3 months during World War II.
Rick flips through the album like a kid on Christmas morning. Eisenhower, de Gaulle, even classified photos from the Battle of the Bulge. The guy wants $10,000, but Rick's no fool. He needs to know it's authentic. So he calls in his expert buddy Dana to dig in and separate military gold from glossy photocopies.
I have to take my hat off to your grandfather, for Patton was not an easy person to be around from what I understand. Very outspoken.
He was always getting in trouble.
Back at the shop, the Patton photo album expert arrives and delivers a gut punch. That signature on the front? It's not real. It's part of the photo print. Rick looks like someone canceled Christmas. The album's still valuable, but the autograph was the jackpot, and now it's just a maybe.
Confirm, that this was actually worn by him, and it was his last race. It could be worth, tenfold if it's authentic.
Okay. Thanks, Drew.
Thanks, Rick.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
Dana explains some of the photos are already public and archived, meaning it's hard to determine rarity or value. Still, World War II collectors would love it. Rick, always cautious, offers a mere $500. The seller refuses, not wanting to be disowned by his family for underselling Grandpa's legacy. No deal.
At this point, he's wearing 4 stars. Went from being a 3-star general to a 4-star general during this period of time.
Next up, a man walks in with a luxury 1800s French travel kit loaded with sterling silver. We're talking razors, bottles, brushes, everything you'd need if you were traveling first class by horse and boat. Rick is stunned, especially when he realizes it's 950 grade French silver. Yeah, not your average toiletry bag.
I'll make you an offer, okay?
Sounds good. I'm excited about an expert coming in today and might learn a little bit more about the book and actually find out what it's worth.
The customer wants $10,000. Rick throws out $6,000, calling it a hard sell. After some tense back and forth, they shake hands at $6,500. Not bad for something that was literally collecting dust in an attic until someone's aunt cleaned out a house. Talk about cashing in on old hygiene.
My shop. What did you want to do with this?
Well, I'd like to sell it.
How much did you want for it?
Give me $10,000 and we'll make a deal.
Then we meet the tiniest boots you've ever seen. Autographed jockey racing boots worn by legendary Willie Shoemaker. Size 1. Seriously, Rick's immediately impressed but skeptical about the faded signature. The seller wants $4,000, but Rick isn't paying that unless he gets confirmation they're legit. Cue the signature expert.
Yeah, I have a pair of jockey racing boots autographed by Willie Shoemaker.
In comes Drew, the autograph forensic master. He examines the pen strokes like a CSI detective, figures out the S is authentic, notes every pen lift, and finally declares it's real, race-worn and signed. The value could be huge, but the faded ink is a problem. Cue Rick's lowball instincts.
I'm okay with them calling in an expert. I'm confident that the item is authentic.
The negotiation is rocky. The seller starts at $1,250 after the expert's approval. Rick counters with $500. They go back and forth, and even though the seller begs for $800, Rick holds firm. Eventually, the seller gives in at $500. Defeated, but realistic. Sometimes the market just doesn't care about tiny shoes.
With Authentic Autographs Unlimited, I'm a forensic document examiner.
This is what I called you about.
Okay.
Suddenly, Rick and Corey hit the road to look at something wild. 175 collectible liquor decanters. This woman has an entire garage packed with them, sorted into categories like animals, states, war history, and Greek mythology. It's like a bourbon-themed museum exploded.
Or you're on our way to go take a look.
So this is why I called you.
Wow, you got a lot of booze here.
She wants $4,500, claiming one decanter alone is worth $1,200. Rick's having none of it. He offers $500 for everything. The woman tries to meet in the middle at $600. Rick grumbles but agrees. Corey just looks exhausted thinking about boxing them all up.
So where did you get all this stuff?
I bought a business and they were just stored there.
Are most of them full?
I legally can't sell you anything that's full, so.
Then it gets even wilder. A man strolls in with a bulletproof vest, complete with trauma plates. Rick jokes about whether it's been used. Turns out, the seller just upgraded to a newer model and wants to offload this one. Nothing says pawn shop like casually selling body armor.
How can I help you today?
I have a bulletproof vest with an inner and outer carrier and 2 trauma plates.
Do you ever get to use this thing?
Yeah, I use it for work.
No, I mean use it.
Rick breaks out the Kevlar knowledge. Who knew it was originally for tires? He checks the expiration. Yes, these things expire like milk, and agrees to $150. The guy wanted $300, but walks away happy, and hopefully not shot.
Wow.
That was his selling.
So, do you know anything else about it?
Well, I know it's made out of Kevlar, and there's other material in there I'm not too sure about.
And finally, Rick regrets his earlier drunken decanter deal. Turns out 10 more boxes are arriving, and now the shop is drowning in glass cowboy bottles and Greek whiskey heads. Corey just shakes his head. Chumley's probably already picking one to take home. This is the chaos we love.
What do we got here, Rick?
A lot of Jim Beam bottles. I sort of got some buyer's remorse over it.
The episode opens with big news. Lily's internship is ending. Chumley immediately blurts, "You're not pregnant, are you?" Classic Chum. Rick, trying to stay serious, reminds everyone it's been a whole year since she joined. The old man drops one of his philosopher lines, "Life marches on." Rick laughs. Did you just read that in a book? The shop's bracing for goodbyes and probably more Chumley chaos.
Hey everybody, I have some news.
Not pregnant, are you?
No.
First customer of the day strolls in with a Pony Express Bible. He claims only 300 were printed in 1859. Rick lights up instantly. Now that's American history. Corey rolls his eyes. Seems dumb to carry a Bible when you're racing mail. The seller insists riders swore an oath on it. Rick admits it's cool, but rough. The spine's destroyed, half the cover's gone. Seller wants $5,000. Rick calls for Rebecca, the book guru. Time to find out if it's divine or a dud.
Pony Express Bible.
Okay, so it's a quick read.
Cut back to Lily's final review. Rick gives the full dad speech. "You're a fast learner, on time, and you'll do great." The old man praises her for not picking up Chumley's habits. Then, plot twist. Rick offers her a part-time job. Lily beams. Chumley snorts. "So you failed, huh?" The old man adds, "Word to your mother." These guys can't have one heartfelt moment without ruining it.
I got a friend of mine that cleans up after a estate sale. So he gave me a call when he had a box of old books, and
Rebecca arrives to inspect the Bible and instantly corrects the myths. There are more than 12 known copies, she explains, though still rare. She dives into the history of founders Russell, Majors, and Waddell, devout men who actually made riders swear not to drink or swear. Corey's face says it all. "I'd drink after 100 miles on horseback." The woman's a walking encyclopedia, and Rick's hanging on every word.
All right, you've been here for a year. I think you've done great. Fast learner, show up at work on time.
Rebecca flips open the Bible and spots something crucial. It's not a Pony Express copy. The gold-stamped inscription says Overland Mail Company, not Russell, Majors, and Waddell. Translation: close, but no cigar. The seller's crushed, but Rebecca redeems him fast. Still rare. I'd value it at $6,000 to $7,000. Rick's eyes go wide. "In that shape?" She nods. "In that shape." Holy smokes, he just struck old, torn gold.
They can't swear, they can't drink, they have to deal honestly with their fellow men.
Rick starts negotiating. The seller still wants $5,000. Rick offers $2,500. The seller pleads for $4,000. "Nope," Rick smirks. "My best is $3,000. They haggle like it's the Wild West, but finally, deal at $3,000. Seller laughs. "I'll take the cash." Rick grins like a kid at recess. Another historical win. Turns out you can buy the good book for a price.
In that shape?
In that shape.
Okay, because I was thinking you were going to say like $300.
Meanwhile, Chumley's teaching Lily the art of silver polishing. "You gotta use elbow grease," he insists. Lily mutters, "I don't even know how to polish silver." Chumley smirks. "You'll learn." Rick catches her mid-polish. "Who told you to do this, Chum?" she says. Rick groans. "He's not your boss." Lily's too nice to complain, but you can tell she's wondering if this promotion was worth it.
Red side first. You gotta put some elbow grease into it.
Okay, doesn't seem like something I should.
Moments later, Rick catches Corey and Chumley throwing a football in the shop. He snaps, "You're at work." Chumley fires back, "I'm on pre-lunch." Rick isn't amused. He shuts it down fast. "Lily helps you. She's not your assistant." Chumley tries one last word. "No," Rick interrupts. "Don't let it happen again." Chumley grumbles to the camera, "If they didn't invest in new talent, they'd never have found me." Tragic, but true.
What have I told you guys about playing ball?
Next customer, a rabbi with a chilling World War II propaganda poster. It reads, "All the men of Litis, Czechoslovakia have been shot." Rick's stunned. That's powerful. The rabbi explains it was made by artist Ben Shahn, memorializing the massacre after the Nazis destroyed the Czech village of Litis. Those who forget history are bound to repeat it, he says. Heavy stuff. Rick calls in, you guessed it, Mark Hall Patton, history wizard and hat icon.
Yes, I'm Rabbi Melheck, and this is an original poster.
Mark arrives and confirms it's authentic. Ben Shahn worked for the US government, documenting Nazi atrocities. He explains, the story's brutal. After Reinhard Heydrich's assassination, the Nazis wiped Litis off the map to make an example. Corey shakes his head. If you can read this and not get pissed off, something's wrong with you. The rabbi nods. Rick asks, what do you want for it? $3,000. He replies, fair.
Interesting.
You look more like a rabbi than I do.
Thank you.
Corey estimates they could sell it for $2,000 to $2,200. Rick goes straight to business. I'll give you $1,500. The rabbi smiles. Deal. They shake hands. Mark beams. History preserved, lesson learned. Corey jokes, that's the first time a rabbi ever gave us a discount. Rick grins. Yeah, but it's for a good cause. Powerful history, fair price.
I mean, how much were you looking to get out of it?
$3,000.
Then, chaos shifts to sci-fi. A guy strolls in with a Pepsi R2D2 vending machine from Japan. Corey lights up. This is the droid you're looking for. The seller owns over 2,000 Star Wars collectibles and even runs a store in Brazil. He proudly says it came from a 2006 promotion. Corey's already nerding out. If it works, I might have to keep it.
This is a Pepsi R2D2 vending machine.
All right.
This is the droid you're looking for.
They flip the switch. Lights, sounds, soda. It works perfectly. Corey's impressed but cautious. If something's made to collect, it's usually not collectible. The seller wants $5,000. Corey nearly chokes. It's cool, but not that cool. He offers $1,000. The seller argues, people would line up just to see this. Corey deadpans, I've got Picassos in the back. Oof, the force is not with him.
And you got two dispensers. It usually holds around 10 cans each.
The seller drops to $3,500. Corey won't budge. Offer stands at $1,000. The man leaves disappointed, muttering, lowball. Corey just shrugs. Another day, another galactic ego deflated. It's not personal, it's business. Even when the business involves robots that serve soda.
$5,000. I just don't see it worth $5,000. I'd offer you about $1,000 for it.
We end where we started. With Lily gone, Chumley's already posting an ad for a new intern. How much do we pay interns? He asks. Rick groans. Don't worry about it. Chumley claims he misses mentoring. The old man whispers, maybe we should get another one. Rick smirks. So we can get rid of the village idiot. Chumley squints. Wait, which one? Fade out. Perfectly chaotic ending.
What do you want to know?
Well, I was about to place an ad online looking for a new intern. I just wanted to know how much they made.
First item of the day, a Buster Brown bench. The guy says he bought it at a small town auction, and Rick's inner nostalgia alarm goes off. I had Buster Browns as a kid, he says. Translation, you're about to get a history lecture. Rick dives in. Early 1900s marketing genius, comic strip tie-ins, and free comic books inside the shoeboxes. Basically, Buster Brown was the Nike of 1900, with more moral lessons and fewer swooshes.
Fair bench. Well, it looks comfortable. Yeah.
The bench looks like it survived a century of tired shoe shoppers. The seller wants $2,500. Rick gives the polite version of no way. He explains that, restored, it might fetch $1,000 tops. He offers $300, knowing full well it's more of a fixer-upper than a fortune. The seller politely declines, saying he'll keep it for his house. Rick shrugs. Another cool piece of history, just not a profitable one.
For how much?
I'd like to get $2,500 out of it.
I bet you would.
Cut to the shop. Rick's getting ready to fly to Florida for the big Fun Show coin auction. Corey and Chumley tease him mercilessly. Fun Show? Corey laughs. Sounds like the nerdiest party on earth. Rick fires back. It stands for Florida United Numismatists. Chumley grins. So it's a coin convention for nerds? Rick groans. Just behave while I'm gone. Yeah, that's like asking a cat to babysit a fish.
I fly out tomorrow morning. Going to the Fun Show.
Fun show?
It's not what you would consider fun.
What's fun stand for?
Meanwhile, Corey gets his own headline act, a Ty Cobb game-used bat, supposedly signed 3 times by Hall of Famer Joe Sewell. The seller, a seasoned sports collector, wants $100,000. Corey's skeptical but intrigued. So Ty Cobb's bat, signed by another guy, who used it? He asks, visibly confused. Sounds like baseball's version of Who's on First. Still, it's potentially huge, so he calls in his authentication experts.
So Ty Cobb signed Joe Sewell's bat, or?
Joe Sewell signed Ty Cobb's bat, but Joe Sewell used it.
Expert number 1, Steve, arrives to verify the autographs. He checks all 3 Joe Sewell signatures, confirming they're 100% real. But quick reality check. Sewell's not exactly Babe Ruth on the collector scale. His signature alone, worth maybe $150. The seller's face falls. Steve shrugs. Hey, it's genuine, but not gold-plated. Corey thanks him, but still needs the second opinion, because game used could mean the difference between $1,000 and $100,000.
Got a buddy who's authenticates all my sports stuff. The guy's really, really good and a guy.
Cut to Florida. Rick's at the fun show, surrounded by coin collectors with magnifying glasses and briefcases. He's hunting for a 1915 Panama Pacific $50 gold coin, the rare octagonal one. He finds a seller asking $70,000. Rick tries $65,000, but the guy won't budge. My customer in Vegas will pay $70 flat. Rick sighs. No profit margin. He walks away. Rare for Rick to actually pass on gold.
This is the place where all the big money buyers are at.
$90,000, $85,000. Then another dealer offers one for $48,000. Sounds like a steal until Rick inspects it. It's been cleaned, he groans. In coin terms, that's like saying it's been sandpapered with regret. My customer won't take this. The seller shrugs. That's why it's cheap. Rick laughs. Cheap's not good when it's damaged gold. He heads back to the first guy to renegotiate. Classic Rick. Circle back, deal smart.
So how much you asking for this?
$70,000.
Back with the first seller, Rick offers $66,000. The man holds firm at $67,500. Rick caves, shakes his hand, and grins. A little money's better than no money. He immediately calls his Vegas client, flips it for $70,000. Profit, $2,500. The smile says it all. That's better than no dollars, he laughs. Only Rick can turn a $2,500 buck flip into a victory lap, but hey, money's money.
Well, I'm back.
I thought you would be.
I have a customer. He's willing to pay.
Before heading home, Rick makes one last Florida stop. The Wayne's World car. Yes, that Mirthmobile. The 1976 AMC Pacer from the movie's iconic Bohemian Rhapsody scene. Rick's practically giggling. Party on, Garth! The owner explains it came from a museum. Rick asks the obvious. Does it still have the licorice dispenser? It does. Somewhere Mike Myers just smiled.
I'm in Orlando, and I heard that the Wayne's World car is down here, and it's for sale.
The car still has camera mounts from filming and all the original parts, but here's the catch. It doesn't run. It's been sitting 20 years, the seller admits. Rick groans, inspecting the peeling paint and destroyed seats. It's rougher than I thought, he sighs. Seller wants $15,000. Rick goes low, $9,000. They meet at $9,500. Rick grins. I bought Wayne's World. Probably a pain in the ass, but a fun one. Party on, Pawn Stars.
Missing out. It's a great American classic.
Back in Vegas, Corey's follow-up expert, Jeremy, arrives to evaluate the bat's true value. He confirms it's a Ty Cobb model made to Cobb's specifications but used only by Joe Sewell. Translation, not Ty Cobb's personal bat, just the same make. Still super rare, but nowhere near 6 figures. Jeremy values it at $15,000. The seller's face, pure disbelief.
A guy came in with a Ty Cobb bat that was used in the 1920s by fellow Hall of Famer Joe Sewell.
Corey's fair but firm. 15's the expert value. I can offer 12 max. The seller tries coming down to $75,000, but Corey's already shaking his head. Not even close. They part politely, but the seller's salty. That expert didn't know the market. He grumbles on his way out. Sure, buddy. Everyone's an expert when their item's overpriced.
Now, we're not dealing with just a Ty Cobb bat here. We also have Joe Sewell's name engraved into the bat barrel as well.
Rick finally returns to the shop, glowing with pride. I bought the Wayne's World car. Corey and Chumley lose it. Please tell me it still has the licorice dispenser. Rick grins. It does. Corey laughs. We gotta recreate the headbanging scene. The old man squints. What's headbanging? Corey smirks. It's something people with hair do, boss. Rick sighs. Never mind, Dad. Never mind. Cue Queen. Roll credits.
I bought the coolest thing on the planet, the AMC Pacer from Wayne's World.
We open with a guy walking in carrying 2 old old German helmets. One leather, one felt. Rick immediately launches into a mini history lecture. Germany ran out of materials during World War I, so they literally downgraded from leather to felt. That's how bad things got. Rick's geeking out, but you can tell he doesn't want to drop cash without a second opinion. Smart man.
What do we have here?
I have no idea.
Okay, these are German helmets.
What are the spikes for?
Oh, they put the helmets on their head, they'd bend over and run into people. That's how they fought wars.
When military expert Paul shows up, he starts tossing out German words like Pickelhaube, like he's hosting History Channel Live. One helmet's enlisted, one's an officer's. Both are in surprisingly good shape. Paul values the set at up to $2,200 total. The seller wants $2,000. Rick offers $800, tension spikes. Eventually, they meet at $1,050. Sellers heading straight to the blackjack table. I mean, priorities.
Yeah, blood chit.
Did you say bull?
No, blood chit. C-H-I-T.
Oh, okay.
Then we get a strange piece of history, a World War II blood chit, basically a silk patch promising a cash reward to anyone helping downed American pilots. It's got 9 languages printed on it, and Rick confirms it's real. Problem is, they made tons of these, so the rarity isn't there. Seller wants a couple $100. Rick starts at $40. Oof.
And as cool as it looks, it should sell quick. All right, what do we got here?
I've got almost every single car that Matchbox put out between 1953.
The seller counters at $150, but Rick sticks to his guns. They finally meet at $75, and honestly, for a stitched-up silk promise from the 1940s, that's not bad. Rick even notes that it's already framed, saving him extra effort, so it's an easy flip. One man's emergency parachute patch is another man's payday.
Which is considered the most collectible because in '70, Matchbox changed their whole way of manufacturing due to Hot Wheels being released.
Next up, the doors practically burst open with nostalgia. A collector walks in with a jaw-dropping Matchbox car collection. Nearly 1,000 cars, most in original boxes. Rick's mind is blown. The guy wants to pawn them for $20,000. Yes, a pawn loan, not a sale. Rick's understandably nervous, so he calls in Johnny, the toy expert.
Instead of black plastic wheels, makes us a $1,000 car.
Okay.
Let's see, here I've got King and Queen coronation coaches. There was only 200 ever made.
Johnny dives in and confirms it. This is the real deal. Original coronation coaches, gray-wheeled tankers, king-size pieces, some individual cars worth over $1,500. Johnny estimates the whole collection at $25,000 to $28,000. But the owner, he thinks it's worth $75,000. Classic pawn standoff incoming.
Pretty close to great.
Okay, so what are these worth?
Well, the ersatz, I would consider this worth about.
Rick, surprisingly, offers the full $20,000 as a loan, but not before warning the guy like a dad giving life advice. Think carefully, this is a big loan. If you don't pay it back, these cars are mine. The guy shrugs. He needs the cash. Deal. Talk about rolling the dice with tiny metal wheels.
You know, we're talking $850, maybe $1,000. You know, someone come in here, they're gonna try and get a deal on the pair.
No offense, but really,
Then, just when you think the episode can't get any more random, vintage Japanese arcade machines show up. Chumley's instantly obsessed. There's Dig Dug, Super Dodgeball, Yi Ar Kung Fu, the holy trinity of button-mashing nostalgia. The seller wants $1,500 each. Chum's face says no way before he even speaks.
Is that a piece?
No, that's total.
All right, how about $1,500?
Tell you what, my best shot's gonna be $1,000, period.
I just can't do 1,000. I hate to walk out of here with these things, but
Negotiations get choppy fast. Chum offers $400 for all three. The seller's eyes practically roll out of his head. They bounce numbers like they're in a pinball machine. Eventually, Chum ups it to $600 for all three, and the seller grudgingly agrees. Lesson learned: never accept arcade cabinets as payment for freelance work.
So what can you tell me about these?
This one is Dig Dug, made by Atari in 1982. This one's Yi Ar Kung Fu, made in 1985.
But nothing, and I mean nothing, can prepare you for the finale. A woman walks in claiming she has an Elvis Presley necklace. Not just any necklace, one Elvis himself placed around her neck. Rick's skeptical until she pulls out photos, letters, and documentation. It's real, and it's over a pound of solid 14-karat gold.
I mean, we can come somewhere in between. I know they're worth more than $5. I know you guys can sell each one individually for more than that.
$600 for the three is the best I'm gonna do, man.
She wants $250,000 $10,000. Rick practically laughs in disbelief. He acknowledges the gold value, around $13,000, but says selling it for Elvis value is nearly impossible. It's niche. He lowballs hard, offering just $20,000. Her face, pure shock, like he just insulted Elvis himself.
Graceland or another museum? All right, so how did you get this?
He invited me to Memphis, and I spent years there at Graceland.
She says she was offered $400,000 in the past but didn't take it. Rick explains that niche memorabilia like this doesn't have guaranteed buyers even if it belonged to the king. She holds strong. Rick can't do better. The deal dies right there. It's a heartbreaker, but it makes for excellent TV.
Surprisingly difficult to sell. People just aren't shelling out the big bucks. So I don't think this woman is going to like my offer.
Back in the shop, Old Man and Chum Lee are fighting over chips. Literally. Chum's dipping into the old man's snack stash and a mini food war breaks out. Rick just ignores it, probably calculating gold prices in his head. But hey, it's not Pawn Stars without a little snack-fueled chaos.
Yeah, that right there, that's how you do it.
You gotta be quicker than that, Chumley. Just leave it alone, Chumley.
This is mine.
Then comes the first real customer. A man walks in with an 1861 half-eagle gold coin passed down from his grandfather. Rick immediately perks up. That's cool, Civil War era gold. The guy explains it might have a C mint mark, Charlotte Mint. Rick's eyes widen like a slot machine. Now that's rare. Corey interrupts. Stop touching it. Classic Corey, always the fun police. Rick explains if it's authentic, this could be a 5-figure find.
I have an 1861 coin that my grandfather gave to me before he passed away.
Rick dives into a mini history lecture. Back in the 1860s, America still used English and Spanish coins, but Charlotte minted its own from local gold. These were mostly melted down overseas for trade, making surviving ones super rare. The seller's not sure what to ask. Rick warns, it's one of the most counterfeited coins in US history. Still, he can't hide the excitement. He calls for Mike, his coin expert, to verify the piece. Cue the suspense.
Oh, this is cool. You know why they call it a half eagle?
No, I don't.
While Rick's waiting on Mike, another seller walks in with antique whiskey bottles. One's cobalt blue and gorgeous, the other's a decanter with purple glass. They're hand-blown, she says proudly. Rick's impressed. Casper's Whiskey, post-Civil War era. He explains they were the Sears of whiskey, selling mail-order jugs. Turns out blue glass bottles were super rare. This is liquid gold for bottle collectors, minus the liquid.
Good.
Got some bottles for you.
All right, sweet, but nothing in them.
The seller wants $500 for one. Rick spots a small chip and drops his offer to $250. She insists it's mold damage. That's not part of the mold, Rick says flatly. They go back and forth. $325, $300, deal. She laughs. I'm gonna buy more bottles. Rick smirks. Of course you are. Nothing like trading 100-year-old whiskey bottles for the modern kind.
It's well over 100 years old. It's hand blown.
Now, did you know that?
Cut back to the shop. Rick's still obsessing over his missing change. Chum Lee tries to logic his way out. You own the soda machines, so technically, I'm just transferring your money. Rick stares blankly. That's not how it works. Chum Lee insists it's a win-win. He gets soda, Rick gets his change back someday. Rick finally snaps, go get your soda and don't touch my jar again. Chum Lee walks away, grinning. Want me to pour you one? Pure chaos.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
You're stealing my change.
I'm not.
Mike the coin expert finally arrives. He confirms it's a Charlotte minted half eagle. Philadelphia made over 700,000. Charlotte? Just a fraction of that. The seller's stunned. Rick can barely contain himself. Mike inspects the C under magnification. No tool marks, no signs of tampering. It's authentic. Rick grins ear to ear. Mike drops the bomb. In this condition, worth around $15,000. The seller nearly faints.
I brought in an extremely rare 1861 half eagle.
Now it's negotiation time. Seller shoots high, $12,000. Rick, ever the realist, starts at $7,500. The seller counters $9,500. Rick shakes his head. I've got to send it for grading. If it's cleaned, I eat the loss. He bumps up to $8,000, not a penny more. The man agrees. Boom, deal done. Seller leaves thrilled, planning to remodel his house. Rick just added a small fortune to his collection, one coin at a time.
Awesome news.
So what's it worth?
In this condition, I would say you could get about $15,000.
Next up, Chumley's turn. A guy brings in a Dr. J signed game-used sneaker from the 1970s, size 16. Chumley's amazed. I could live in that thing. The seller says he got it personally after meeting Julius Erving while driving the 76ers team bus. There's even a photo of them together. He wants $2,000. Chumley's interested but skeptical. It says Julius Erving, not Dr. J. Could be real, could be fake, could be both.
I have here a one-of-a-kind item. It's a Dr. Julius Erving signed, game-used.
The seller swears it's authentic, though he has no paperwork. Chumley says, if it's game-worn, that's worth thousands. If it's not, it's worth lunch money. He calls in Steve Grad, their autograph expert, to verify. While they wait, Rick's still losing his mind about his missing change. Corey admits he took 65 cents and even left an IOU. Rick's face is priceless. That's stealing. The old man butts in. You should be proud, son. He left a note.
Just coming out of high school, he wasn't even recruited. And he just literally enrolled at UMass and just started dominating.
The family argument goes full sitcom. Rick rants about boundaries, Corey defends himself, and the old man casually admits he'd steal from the jar too. If I wanted a soda, I'd tap your piggy bank in a heartbeat, and I wouldn't leave an IOU. Rick groans. Unbelievable! Corey jokes. So the rule is, the jar's fair game? Rick just sighs, utterly defeated. Pawn shop anarchy achieved.
I ain't worried about your damn piggy bank.
I've collected change like this for years.
Back to Chum and the shoe. Steve Grad arrives and immediately goes full expert mode. Dr. J revolutionized basketball, he says. He checks the ink, flow, and compares the autograph to authentic samples. It's live ink, perfect overlap, correct J. He confirms. It's real. However, he can't say it's definitely game used. Value? Around $400 to $500. Chumley looks disappointed, but polite. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
A guy came in with a signed Dr. J basketball shoe from the 70s. It could be a sweet investment.
Chum offers the seller $400. The guy won't budge under $800. Chumley pushes for $500, but no deal. The seller smiles. I'll give it to my grandson. Chum shrugs. Cool, at least it stays in the family. Another missed opportunity, but at least Chum didn't buy a fake shoe this time. Progress, people, progress.
I have a good sign to tie these two things together when you're looking at a game-used item.
In the final scene, Rick returns to find a new piggy bank, an actual pink pig. The old man and Corey are grinning like kids on Christmas. Where's my jar? Rick yells. Corey smirks. We used your money to buy you the new one. The old man adds, it's custom made. Look at the back. Rick flips it over. Little Ricky's piggy bank. His face says it all. Pure defeat.
Where's my jar?
Should be right there.
This is not my jar.
Rick mutters thanks, but demands, now where's my money? The old man hands him Corey's IOU note. You can start with this. Rick walks off fuming while Corey grins. You're welcome, Dad. The old man calls out, piggy male menopause, that's what they call it. Fade out. Honestly, funniest ending in ages. Justice for Rick's change jar, or what's left of it.
And here, so you can get started. Got that for you.
What's that?
That's the IOU.